Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the art session series. And today we're going to be doing a voiceover of this painting I did. I used an oil brush. It kind of reminds me of some of the paintings of Darek Zabrocki, one of my favorite artists, or one of my top artists that have sort of guided me into doing art. They have a more like painterly style. I mean, they do concept art, but they have like a painterly, like a natural look to it, like big brush strokes, very like bold, dynamic strokes, and I just like the way it looks. So I think this is sort of a tank because you can tell like there's a turret right in the front. I also tried drawing like a flag in the back because there's like an accidental something happening in the sort of the black spot behind the whole turret, which kind of looks like a flag, but I decided to recreate it, but I failed in recreating it. Right just above that sort of a thing at the top of the turret, there's like an accidental flag of the US, and it looks super cool, but I decided to I did try to replicate it, but it just did not end up. See, I just did that accidentally. You can see it. It's a very top thing. It kind of looks like the American flag. That like half of it is in shadow. It kind of has that vibe. But it happens. I think for this batch, this was my first sketch. And again, when I'm doing these types of sessions, I don't often know. Like usually, I don't know what I'm drawing, painting. Like I sort of figure it out as I keep adding more strokes, which can be frustrating, especially in the first couple of minutes. But once you find something, it's going to be a lot more fun because you can just dump your energy into fleshing out that idea. But it's finding the idea out of the random strokes you've added in that takes quite a bit of work. It's not just like actual like physical work, but mental work, because you don't know what's happening, and you're sort of just being led almost by the painting, and you have no control. But once you do figure out something, once you see like a pattern, once you see like the idea, right, that's there, then it makes the whole process a lot more easier or bearable, right? Because it's from that point of figuring out the idea from that chaos, it's just you adding more detail or just defining that essential idea a lot more, and a lot more meaning with just a few strokes, right? I'm not very detailed with the way I paint. Oh, by the way, that side thing you can see on the left hand side, which I painted over, that was supposed to be like a turret. Disgusting as hell. But the one I did, the way I suggested, like the turret, right, where the top part is just lit in light, and you don't even see like a line to indicate that edge of the turret. Well, you can see a bit of it now, but that's a way better way of painting, where you're kind of using negative space to define like an edge. I think that's pretty cool. It almost looks like one of those like spray paint Banksy types of artwork. Yeah, look at that. Oh, when I'm doing these paintings, quick concepts, I'm using one brush for like one sketch. In this case, for this whole thing, I'm just using one brush, and I think it's good to have a brush where you can change the size quickly. Or sorry, I'll rephrase it. The brush ought to work regardless of its size, right? Because there are some brushes, like the moment you change the size a little bit, let's say you make it a little bit small, not even that small, but just a little bit small, it starts to lose like its effect. To me, that sucks, which can happen even with my most favorite brushes. It's gonna happen. So in those cases, I think you have to let those go. Because I don't like a brush that's too unreliable. And that's why, as much as I have like lots of brushes, I only stick to a couple, which I keep going back to, just because I can change. Like, it doesn't matter the size, it just seems to learn how to like it can work with any size. And I'm thinking about something now, and people like that. If you're only into like one size, big ones only, I mean, whatever. Okay, I need to calm down. By the way, side note, I haven't slept yet. I do a lot of work, content work, for like YouTube, TikTok, and more. A significant portion of those is like batch work. Like I'm doing some kind of batch work almost every day to some extent. So that's why the videos seem like it's continuous, because I'm continuously working. Jeez. Which kind of gives me respect, or I kind of get it now. People who are like very consistent in social media, who are also like practicing their art skills, doing their art. It's not easy. It's not easy. And nowadays, you kind of have to market yourself, right? If you're trying to grow a following, make yourself known, just staying in your like bubble, it's fine, but you have to find a way to sort of market yourself. And it's a challenge. It's also trying to find that balance of doing content, but also doing art, and how both can grow together. Finding that right balance for you, I think, is the thing you want to aim for to be able to accomplish. Because once you have that, you will be unstoppable. And I think it took me a while to do this, but I think finally I've reached a point in my journey where I think I'm able to do a bit of both, where I can do art a little more and do content at the same time, like to an almost equal level, to the point where I feel happy. Well, not happy meaning, well, I feel satisfied. Like I feel like I can, like, just feel your heart. I know this sounds weird. This sounds weird to say, but if you just focus on your like chest a bit, like, do you feel good? Right? Like, can you breathe a bit? Even though you're like, yeah, I'm busy. Yes, I'm way busy now. But in a way, I can also breathe because my art needs are being met and my content needs are being met. So both are fueling me at the same time. And there's like a yin and yang thing happening. And that balance just helps me keep going, Because if I'm neglecting one to the point where because eventually it's gonna affect the thing I'm consistent in, If I'm so good in art but stuck in content, it's not gonna feel good. I'm not gonna feel good. If I'm very good in content but I'm not good in art, or I don't even have time to make art, I'm not gonna feel good. So I think we all have a couple of needs. We all have more than one need. And especially if you're like a creative type, an artist, doing art is not enough. You have to, again, if you're a hobbyist, whatever, but if we're trying to make it, if you want to make your voice, your art known, because sometimes, you maybe have a story to tell. How will people know about your story if you don't put yourself out there? And it's just the sooner you learn this, the sooner you're able to find this balance, the better. But don't be surprised if it takes a while. Because for me, I don't even like thinking about like the amount of time it took to get me here. Because to you it may seem like this is like a normal video, but to me it's like these past few like months, weeks. I don't know. Things have been. It's kind of like the compound effect. For those of you who don't know, it's like you put in the work, right, for a couple of years, but eventually, like, it'll reach a point where it's going to, like, all of those little things combined together will compound, right? It'll all add up, and then you will have this like moment. It's almost like a surprise where things just go up in terms of like progress or understanding or results. And it will feel like an instant. And I think I'm in that stage where things just seem to connect. And I would not have gotten here if I quit. I've quit many times. Short quits, basically, meaning not quits, but breaks. Meaning I've went for like months sometimes of not even doing any kind of art. But that was before, like years ago. It's been happening like super less, thankfully. But Those were some not good times, by the way. Just binging anime. I mean, nowadays I don't even have time to like watch anime. That's why I feel frustrated when I'm trying to find like, because I want to do some like anime fan art, right? But I don't know what to do because I'm so like out of the loop. Like I'm more likely like I think I bookmark anime shows way more than watching anime shows. Like, it's over, guys. That's how busy I'm getting. But then again, I like it because it shows that, oh shit, I am making progress. But eventually I have to be careful because if I'm always working and no breaks, I'm gonna burn out. So again, it's balance, right? When you're trying to find balance, as you're finding balance, it's not gonna be like an easy process. It's not gonna be finding balance is not balanced. As you're trying to find your balance, you're going to waddle around until you find a balance. So expect yourself to, go back and forth, waddle around, lose your balance before you can actually find the right balance. So don't be afraid. Accept the fact that you will go back and forth in the extremes of whatever your extremes are. But if you keep pushing and if you can go from one extreme to another very quickly and you're not like quitting or falling down too hard, or if you do fall, you can get back up, eventually you will find that balance. So don't quit, don't give up, and yeah, one day it's gonna all happen. So hopefully this episode helps in some way, and I'll see you in the this sounds kind of emotional. By the way, check out my brushes. Links below. Check out my Patreon as well. Links below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.